if you're looking for a job right now, I've got some information for you that will probably blow your mind, especially if you're a little older, if in your 40s, 50s, or beyond, you're Gen X, early boomer. And it's this: the best person doesn't get the job. I know some of you who've been spinning your wheels or, beating your head against a wall and applying to hundreds of jobs and posting and praying with no results. We look at our experience, we look at our results. We would hope that the most talented, skilled, experienced, and professional person will get the job, but they don't, for a lot of reasons, and especially now, it's harder and harder with competition. With you're fighting ageism. That's just it, and that's the hard part for a lot of us folks who are older. And I don't mean that older negatively. It's just true. I mean, look. I talk to so many employers, and the behind the scenes, in the room with the closed door, what they're saying is, yeah, this person's got a lot of experience, but they're going to be expensive as hell. They, oftentimes will come in like they know it all. Hey, I've done this. I've been doing this for so many years. We used to do it this way at the company. And it's just a pain in the ass I don't want to deal with. When I can hire some kid, 25, 27 years old for half the money and teach them the way that I want. That's the truth. That is the ugly truth. Now, a lot of people will come to me who are, this age, and they'll think, oh, well, do I need to dye my hair? Do I need to get hair? I don't know. Is it my appearance? It's not your physical appearance. It's your persona appearance. That's it. Because if you show up energetic, enthused, how many people do we know? Look, hell, I know 25-year-olds that look like a tired old man that lives in Boca Raton. But if you show up looking and presenting yourself as old, or if you show up presenting yourselves as, well, look at my illustrious record of achievements and accomplishments, and you should definitely do that and value me there, then you're going to come off like an ass. That's just it. Now, again, you may be the best candidate. You may be the best thing since sliced bread. You may be the answer for them. And I love that. And I am a big fan of letting people know that. But there's a time and a place. I think the thing is this. It's, we are probably the last generation who were taught to look for a job a certain way. We're led to believe that, hey, you go to school, you get a good degree, you get an education, you get a good job, you work hard, you're going to get results, and you'll get promoted. Total bullshit, right? So the point is, when you're now looking for a job at this age or in anything, it's not the best person. It's oftentimes the best fit and what is going to be frictionless for that organization. They're not all this way, but I'm just saying, the vast majority, okay? Or if you're wondering why you're not getting seen, and we're talking about if you're getting seen, that's a whole other video, whole other thing on actually getting past the point, past the applications, past the tracking systems, and getting a human being to see it, because truthfully, about 98% of the time, it never is seen. But if you actually have the good fortune to get in front of a human, and I can show you how to get in front of a human, that's hard work, but it's simple. I can show you that. But if you actually are getting with a human, it's not, you can't expect them to automatically dig deep and connect the dots. I think that's the biggest thing, is you are oftentimes going to have to connect the dots for people on your skills and experience, not just laying it out there like a buffet and say, behold, look at what I've done. It's how you show up. It's your persona. Now, I did a podcast the other day with someone, and they asked me this about people who, for folks our age, and, how do you present yourself in a different industry? How do you compete? This is a big one, really. How do you compete against younger people today? Because you've made more money, and people know that. One, being honest and calling the elephant in the room of, hey, you know what? Yeah, I've made a lot of money before. Or I probably have in the past have been this or been this title. If you're sincere about it and say, I don't need that, I don't want that, I would just want to learn this and do this. Because that's one of the biggest fears from anybody, especially if it's a younger manager, insecure manager or executive, is they're going to think this person's going to be a pain in the ass. They're going to cost too much money. It's going to be too much work for me. They're not looking at it like you and I think they would have. Oh, look at this. Look at this amazing superstar I get with all this great experience. They're not looking at it that way. So you're going to have to do that for them. The other, again, this is my audience. You are my audience here, okay? As folks who are a little older. But the fact is, it's not your experience that they're going to care as much about and you might not even tout. You've done it, great. That gets you in the door, and that's going to help you do the job. But I would definitely point out your professionalism, your accountability. I think one of the biggest challenges for employers today with the younger generation, I'm not trying to drive a wedge in it. This is just common knowledge. Common, you read the comments in my posts and, all throughout LinkedIn and whatever. It's the idea of employers are having a challenge with absenteeism, professionalism, with communication, with showing up, with being accountable, all of these things, just general professionalism and acting like a grown-ass adult. I think saying that and pointing that out, it's not the fact that you've been doing this for 30 years or you've done this for 25 years and you've achieved X, Y, and Z. Awesome. It's the idea of, look, and ask them, are you having a problem with people not showing up? You having a problem with communication? You have a problem with not following, instructions? You have a problem with critical thinking? Yeah, I can do that. Those aren't the things that we lead with on a resume, or is it? But those are the things that are going to make you stand apart and actually help you get noticed and might get you a little further than just sitting there. I had the good fortune, earlier in my career, I did some work with Southwest Airlines. In fact, I created one of their very early recruiting programs. I had the opportunity to meet Herb Kelleher, their legendary founder who's since passed. And it's sad day to day. Now here we are, 20 some odd, almost 30 years later, that they had their first layoffs. But back in the day, they were it. And Herb Kelleher had a quote he was famous for. And I got to hear him say it once: if you rest on your laurels, you get thorns in your ass. Think about that. If you rest on your laurels now as Gen Xer, as an early boomer, whatever, look what I've done. Cool. That's great. But what are you going to do now? What are you going to do for me now? And what you can do for somebody now may be much simpler, but much more valued than you would expect. Food for thought. All right. If you are in a situation where you want to be seen, we talked earlier about actually getting to a real human being, you need some help with this. You need someone to give you a real reality check about how things are working, whether it's your resume, your information, your story, your messaging, or just what you're doing. I'd like to be able to help you out with that. 5-time best-selling author, was a headhunter partner, one of the biggest firms in America. I'd been in this business for over 15 years and placed over 1,000 people, seen and evaluated thousands upon thousands of resumes, and written books on this. For the month of March, I am really helping people who are in a pinch. And I've got 3 ways to do that. And number 1, small, medium, and large. The information's below. Pick what works for you. But that's everything from a resume reality check, where I can, give a look at and evaluate your resume with a completely unbiased opinion and give you the feedback. The problem is everybody's so scared to death of getting sued. Nobody give you a real feedback right now on, hey, this is good, this is bad, this sucks, you should change this. I'll do that. And I'll also give you a toolkit that I created to help you find email addresses and such on how to research and contact people. The other is a career comeback course based off my best-selling book. And it's 4 videos on demand. You can watch when you want, but 30 days of support for the month of March as well. So you'll be able to interact with me. And then the other is an opportunity to work with me one-on-one to help create a custom tailored career campaign for you on your messaging, the people, pairing you, all of these things. It's affordable. Yeah, I want to make it accessible to a lot of people, but the deadline for that is this Friday. That's it, because I'm only doing this for the month of March. And information's below. I hope this is helpful. Make sure you like it, share it, subscribe it, watch it again, come back, and check out the stuff below. All right, we'll talk to you.